Today we're going to be reviewing the 7 versus 7 formations and providing our players with some more information on their roles and responsibilities. So we'll be talking mostly about the blue team as our team and the red team being our opposition, the yellow dot being the ball. For most of our teams, we're going to encourage them to play with obviously one goalkeeper, 2 central defenders or defenders, 1 center midfielder, a left midfielder, a right midfielder, and a forward. When we are in possession of the ball, we always want to encourage our teams to make the space as big as possible and to stretch the other team as much as we can. But when we do that, we still need some support happening around the ball so that players are always moving, adjusting. If we lose the ball, we want to encourage our players to quickly close down the space of the other team and attempt to try and win the ball back really quickly. Okay. When we're in a goal kick, what we'll be looking at from our goalkeeper is for our 2 defenders, we want them to start by the edges of the box. We'll ask that our center midfielder drops into this space, our wingers come into here, our wingers come into here, and our striker still occupies the middle. As the ball shifts, potentially from the goalkeeper out to the fullback, some things that we'll be looking for as the other team closes our space is to play up into the wing. If that happens, striker always moving over to ball side. Okay, and same thing would happen here. If the ball shifts from goalkeeper to fullback, fullback to winger, we're asking our forwards to move into this space. Okay, if we restart from the goalkeeper here, this player is really, really important that they always have to be available as an option. So the goalkeeper may choose to play directly into them and they bounce it back, or maybe they turn and attack here. As the ball shifts side, they come in to support the ball at all times and be an option to try and link up and penetrate. Okay. In terms of different variations, so that's our 2-3-1 and the main stuff that we would be looking for. We may also at times ask our team to play with 1 central defender, 2 wing backs, so playing a little bit high, but when we lose possession as a 3, and these players in here, okay, and so we would be now shifting to a 1 goalkeeper, 1 center back, 2 fullbacks or wing backs, 1 central midfielder, and 2 forwards, okay. Teams may also choose to adjust this a little bit and go with 2 center midfielders in here, and we would generally refer to this as a 1-2-2-1 or a 3-2-1, and you'll notice it starts to look a little bit like a Christmas tree formation. Okay, if we do play with 2 forwards, it's going to be really important that as the ball travels from one side to the other, that the players always are working together. So we don't want to see these players split too far apart, and in the same way we don't want these players split too far apart. So the players that are playing in defense always are recognizing that they need to be close to the ball, okay? And if the ball shifts to this side, the far side needs to tuck in, almost like a central player. Okay, next thing that we'll review is our corner kicks. Okay, so if our blue team is attacking on the red goal here, this is their goalkeeper. They've brought some players back into the box, okay? We're going to always encourage to start by playing short. And so what we're going to ask our player on the corner to do is quickly retrieve the ball, get a player close to the ball if they can, okay, and play in short. As that happens, this player is encouraged to dribble towards the goal, and this player may overlap them, okay? We think that that's going to be a good attacking situation for our team rather than playing directly in. If the other team recognizes that we have 2 players and they decide to send 2 players, now it might be a better opportunity to actually cross it in directly and attempt to score from there. Okay. Last thing that we want to think about is just the general movement of our players in the areas that they will be responsible for. So if we move our red team off, okay, and we go back to our 2-3-1 formation that most of our teams are going to be playing, okay, just thinking about the roles of our groups. So again, with these players, if we have two center backs, we're thinking never split more than the width of the box apart from each other. Otherwise, we've left too much space to penetrate down the middle. If the ball shifts to this side, we're going to ask this player to slide wide, and our other central defender should be no further away than the middle of their box. Okay, so they're always supporting the ball. Similarly, if the ball shifts this way, here and here. Okay, we often talk about these players feeling like they're attached by a string, and they're always working in tandem wherever the ball is shifting towards. Okay, our wingers, they're going to be responsible for covering all the way from corner to corner. They have a big responsibility. Okay, we need them to get forward to support our one striker as often as possible. But when in possession, if we're playing out of the back or we're attempting to win it, we need them nice and close, okay, to our center backs or our defenders in order to retrieve the ball. When we're in possession, we want these players with their feet on the touchline, making the space as wide as possible, okay? We're going to ask that our forwards are always active, so they're not just staying in the center of the field, okay? And they're always looking for little pockets of space. So can they not just stand and be marked by a defender, but maybe move into space or make runs or come into receive the ball into feet? Or sometimes they may also ask for the ball into space in between the other team. Okay, when the other team has their goal kick, okay, and we have our retreat line here, we're going to ask, this player is very important in terms of setting the pressure. We want them to be responsible for relieving pressure as high up the field as possible to keep the red team away from our net. So as the ball comes out for the red team's goal kick, we ask our forward to get there nice and quick, but also come on a little bit of an angle. And so what we're doing here is asking that player to force the red team into play into a predictable area. As that happens, we'll ask our winger to squeeze in and our other players here to squeeze that space and attempt to force a turnover. Okay, so very important role. Last player that we're going to talk about today is our center midfielder. Okay, so again, these players have a lot of responsibility. Wherever the ball is going, they need to be around the ball. What's going to be really important for them is, can they check into feet? Okay, and always be an option. So if this center defender has the ball, can they play into feet and bounce it out? Can they receive it on the turn? Can they help dribble the ball or pass the ball forward? Okay, and what we're looking for from this player is that they can help break us through the other team. Okay, so if you notice here, can they make passes or can they make dribbles that will attempt or help us break through the other team and beat their players to have an attempt to score. So in summary, I hope that this video helps you get a better understanding of the players' positions and responsibilities that we're asking for. Okay, and again, just to review here, so we're looking at one goalkeeper, two central defenders typically, one center mid, one winger, a right winger, our left winger here, and our center forward.